Whenever you're ready, I'm recording.
Good morning, Olgeta Brata, Nasusa Blomi, long West Papua, long homeland Blomipla. Today, 14 December, outside long Indonesian embassy. Mi sanap outside long embassy. Na mi like redeem our statement. Igolong Olgeta Brata, Nasusa long country belong Yumi, especially addressing this last statement igolo Indonesian government, na all people belong Indonesia, na people belong America, na people around the world. So thank you so much. Free West Papua, free West Melanesia, free Melanesia. I'm Herman Waingai. To the President of Indonesia, Joko Widodo, and the Indonesian government, and to the Indonesian people who might not know what is going on, and why our people want to be free from Indonesian colonial rule. Hear me out. To understand what I'm going to talk about, let's start with the Indonesian occupation of West Papua. In 1969, the UN implemented an election known as the Act of Free Choice, in which less than 1% of our people voted in favor of Indonesia, and 99% of our people were not allowed to vote. The election was based on the New York Agreement, an agreement negotiated and signed between UN leaders to transfer West Papua to Indonesia without the consent of the people. Our people weren't allowed to participate in negotiation and did not even sign that agreement. Because our people were not represented in the negotiation process at the time, they rejected the New York Agreement. They also rejected the 1969 election, which gave Indonesian legal cover to occupy our land. Today, we continue to reject that election. It's our view that the Act of Free Choice election was a complete shame, and nothing will change that position. And that brings us to this day, December 14 to 2022. We are here at this spot to remind the Indonesian government and President Widodo of how the Indonesian government of past and present continue to violate the Rome Agreement. According to that agreement, Indonesia was to administer West Papua for 25 years, after which the people would vote for their own self-determination. On this day, December 14, 1988, Dr. Tom Waingai declared West Papua the Independent Republic of Melanesia, according to the terms of the Rome Agreement. Sadly, he was arrested and tried for subversion. Then he was convicted and sent to prison for 20 years, like Nelson Mandela. He was transferred from Jayapura City to Cipinang Prison in Jakarta, where he was kept until his death in 1996. In 1996, Dr. Tem was murdered in prison, serving only 8 years of his 20 years prison term. 24 years on, we are here to once again remind Indonesia that you might have killed the leader of the non-violence movement in West Papua, but you failed to kill the message. That message is grounded in the following. First, the majority of West Papua rejected the result of the 1969 election. It was a sham election because it wasn't not free. The United Nations knew it at the time, every observer knew that it was a sham. Second, West Papua are not Indonesian. We are Melanesian people. We are part of the Melanesian family. Third, our right to independence and to live free of foreign occupation is granted by international law. Fourth, justice is justice, no matter how long it takes to achieve. As Dr. Tom and his supporter and our people did at Mandala Stadium 20 or 34 years ago, today affirm that declaration. We declare here in Washington, D.C., and with our partners around the world, that West Papua belong to West Papuan, belong to West Melanesian, not Indonesia. We commemorate that declaration as it's the only independent declaration that we respect. We are different nation as we West Papua Melanesian. We are not Indonesian. And no amount of abuse, imprisonment, murder, execution of our leader will change that fact. And no amount of military force will silence us and deter us from declaring to the world that we are independent nation of West Melanesian, West Papua. We were forced to become part of Indonesia and we reject it. We reject it on that one. It is because of this declaration that the violence against our people becomes well known, and often we ask, is there a solution to all this? Yes, there is. The solution to the ongoing conflict, pain, suffering, and hatred in West Papua is for Indonesian government to let people vote for their own self-determination. They cannot continue to violate that commitment to human rights while violating its every day in West Papua. Without this referendum, there is no other solution. Let me say this to our supporters around the world and those who are watching from home. Our struggle for self-determination is a right struggle. Our struggle for determination is a righteous struggle. It's a struggle worth dying for. It's a struggle worth your time and support. Let me quote from the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., someone who inspired many of us in our struggle against colonialism. Our life began to end the day, become silent because things that matter. I will say again, let me quote from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., someone who inspired many of us in our struggle against colonialism. Our life begin to the end the day we become silent about things that matter. He also said, the time is always right to do the right things. He went to say, in the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. Today, I urge our friends around the world and friends back home to join me in commemorating this important day and to declare to Indonesia that we are independent people of Western Melanesia. We are independent people of Western Melanesia. Remember that. As it was declared 34 years ago, today we uphold that declaration. As I must say that as long as we are alive and well, the only declaration we know that will continue to respect is declaration of independence of our nation of West Melanesia. I urge you all, my people and my friends, to stand strong in the struggle against oppression. Abraham Lincoln once said, be sure to put your feet in the right place, then stay firm. Our feet are in the right place. Stand strong, stand firm, and have faith. In closing, I want to say this. We remember those who went before us, those who died for the struggle of our people, those who are behind us this moment for raising the West Papuan flag and for exercising their democratic right to peacefully protest against the rules over you. Those who are living in the jungle because their homes were burned down by Indonesian armed forces and for fear of being killed, we remember you all. Together, we stand as independent nation of West Melanesia. Free West Melanesia. Free West Papua. Free Melanesia.